Hey, what's going on, my peeps? Hey, today, this video, somebody asked me to do a video on setting up the Skytrak alignment and how I do that. So, this video, I'm going to show you guys how I have my Skytrak set up and aligned to make sure that, my balls are, they're going straight. And not offline, etc. So this is a couple things. I'm gonna give you guys some of the tips that I've used and things I went through to kind of get that set up and done. Prior to that, with this video, hey, don't forget to give me a like, leave a comment, hit that bell so you get notified of other videos. And again, I appreciate you guys for watching Strok'en with Pipes. But I had one of my followers reach out and said, hey, can you do a video on how you align your Skytraks? So, I'm going to talk about those things. So, I got all the tools that I utilize right here. And I'm going to go through them real quick for you. First one is a tape measure, right? Need a little tape measure that you can do, 13, 11, 12 feet, whatever, right? So, I'm going to talk about that. This little tool here is a tool I made. This is a tool with a magnet on it that I can put on the face of any club, and you can actually figure out exactly where your face is pointing. And I'm gonna go through that, and then just the alignment stick, and then you got your Skytrak or Skytrak Plus, and then just a little wedge or whatever club you want, right? First one I'm gonna show you guys an image. So this image is from Skytrak, and this is how they recommend your red dot, right? So I have a video here, and you can kind of see my red dot that I'm pointing to that's projected on my hitting mat. So Skytrak recommends that this dot is 11.5 to 12.5 from the top of the laser. So, the first tool I gave you, your measuring tape. This one is where you can then measure that. You basically want to measure that on the angle that they have, which is represented by the red laser dot. So you're measuring from the top to your laser on the ground. So that's the first one. So you want to kind of get that measurement. Now, I am going to point out on this, mine is a little longer. So my perfection, I get best perfection that I'm almost 12.5 to 13.5. And I'm not sure maybe if that's because of the mat that I have. So I have a fiber built mat. So it has a lot of little fibers coming out. So maybe because of my impact, maybe because of the softness with the club basically sweeping through, that might make a difference. So that's the first thing I'm pointing out. So then I'm going to get rid of this image, and then I'm going to go through some other things that I do and show you guys and talk through a couple points. So I'm going to do this a little quicker because I don't want this to be an extremely long video. But I have both GS Pro and Skytrak open so you can see it. First one is the alignment stick. I put the alignment stick on my Skytrak case, and you can kind of match that. Okay, does that look straight? It's going down the line, etc. That's the first thing I do, right? Now, you can take another alignment stick, if you have one, and put that just down your line, just as a reference point, right? So now I got two alignment sticks. I got the one down Skytrak, and then I got the one just down my line. And then, before I get to hitting balls and then how you can kind of test this, we're going to go on the Skytrak real quick here, right? We're going to turn on the Skytrak, the laser. So I'm going to go into settings on the Skytrak. I'm going to go into settings, and actually I need to exit out of here to kind of get there. So I'm going to go ahead, exit here. I'm going to open up and see my two laser dots to show up. Right? So let me just do that real quick. Exit here and go into device. Bear with me. Hey, I'm gonna hit you right back in about 5-10 minutes. All right, I'm in the middle of the video. All right, yeah. All right, so first thing, go on this Skype. So now I'm gonna go into device, and we're gonna turn on the alignment on the Skytrak. So now you can see that the alignment is on. So now you got the 2 dots projected. So I now have my alignment stick down there. I have the 2 dots, and then I have my 3rd little stick here, right? So now there's my straightness, right? So I can match up with that. Now notice, your straightness doesn't have to be dot right with the dot to dot. It's really like a railroad track, right? So I don't have to hit my ball right on the dot. So I don't have to put my ball right on top of the dot. I can actually bring my ball as far as, 2-3 inches off the dot and still get good results and straightness. So now this is the basis of the setup, right? With being that you're set up correctly. The one other thing you want to do is level. You want to see that, you want to make sure that your Skytrak and your mat are on the same level. I did not do that, but that's another test you want to do, that they're on the same level. So you're doing that. You got the laser in the distance, and then you also have, just checking the tilt, and then also you got your roll and your tilt. Your roll and your tilt being 0, knowing that you at least are level, and stuff on that, right? Now I'm gonna go into, and we're gonna go into hitting some shots, and I'm gonna tell you this because I've been playing golf for a long time, right? Over 20 years, whatever. I'm not a teaching pro. I'm not a pro. But I am an athlete, and there's some things in regards to feel and being an athlete and being athletic that kind of helps you, right? So I'm going to make some pointers on this, and I'm going to tell a lot of guys and what you're doing. And a lot of y'all don't know your swing and don't know how well you play or whatever, but I can tell you possibly what's happening and what you're doing and what you think you're doing versus what really is happening. Couple things I like to look at, especially with the Skytrak, and I love Skytrak Plus with the new club pass and data, right? So if I'm looking at my club pass, I'm trying to get my pink line to go to the right. So I want my pink line to go to the right, and I want that other line that's on the club pass to go to the left. So I want my face to be pointing left, but I want my pass to be pointing right, right? That's the in to out swing. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people make a mistake because they think they're going in and out, but they're really coming over the top, they're really slicing it, etc., or vice versa, and they think that they're hitting straight shots. So this is where my other tool that I made came into play. You've probably seen this and people sold it, but I basically found a way with a magnet to make my own with a foam golf ball that I just put it on top of something, put it on the head. Now, this is where it comes in and what I can do. With this tool, I can put this magnet on my wedge. Now when I put this down, this gives you a good reference point of your wedge actually pointing straight versus no ball, open, right? And you can see where that ball might be pointing. Like, you may not be able to tell really hard because of my camera, but straight, right, down the line. So this is more straight down the line, and to me, this looks closed when I look at it. When I look at my wedge, it looks closed. This is open, pointing right. So you can see now, I think a lot of people think this is straight, but you can see that that's actually pointing right. This is more straight. This is inside, all right? And the key is that you actually want to hit this and you're doing wedges, but you got to have it straight, right? So you got to be able to come through here and hit straight shots to get straight results. So this little tool, putting it on the top of your wedge, or if you find this tool and put it on the face of your club, you can then see, especially if you're hitting shots, if you're really doing them and hitting it straight, or if it's your alignment, right? Or even if the Skytrak alignment. So now I give you like all my tools I use. So my alignment sticks, the Skytrak line, bend level, the distance of the laser to the dot, and your club face. Now let's hit a couple shots. And hitting some shots, I'm going to mention a couple things where I try to hit some, and we're going to see how they go. And then I'm going to hit some totally out to the right, I'm going to hit some totally to the left, and I'm going to tell you some things where you can kind of work that out. So right now, I'm just going to try to hit a couple shots and think I'm going to try to hit them pretty straight. Not worry about distance or anything, just to take off. So, I know I felt like I pulled that a little bit just coming through based on my setup, and there was just a little slight pull. Not a lot. You can see the Skytrak line and the GS Pro line, right? And a lot of times people, when you're taking the club back, especially on little wedges, and I'm going to try to extend this, so a lot of times you're kind of taking back, you're coming inside. It really is with the up. Like really, you gotta have that club head face really outside of the hand. When it gets inside the hands, it's hard to square back up, and a lot of times you come through, that face is open. And this is stuff that I constantly have to work on, and I'm not perfect at it, but I know how to work it and try to get some straight shots, right? Being totally straight is hard, but so I match up this club head. I match up the club head in the face with HLA and GS Pro. A positive HLA means the face was open, or you came through the ball with ball started out to the right. A negative means you came through and the ball started to the left. You just gotta be looking at those numbers. You wanna be a little closer to 0, 0, or 1. And it's hard, and more or less on small little chips, and maybe with putts, but with driver, you just got to be, the closer you are to 0 on that, either way, the closer you came through the ball with a smooth face pointing at your target. That's all I can say, right? Zero, zero. Right? Now, if you watch this video, you go back, right? One of the things with that and what I did different is, even though I'm worried about the club face, you got to get out the way. Like, you got to get your hips out of the way and then let the club come through, because now the club just squares up. If you're throwing it over the top, it's really is. A lot of times people think it's something with their setup, or think it's Skytrak, or think it's whatever. You got to really get some video of yourself and see how you're coming into that ball. All right? And then my other tool, and I didn't put it down, I forgot, but a pool noodle, right? If you really think Skytrak is off, get yourself a little pool noodle and do this little test, all right? So this pool noodle, I'm gonna set this up to push them out to the right, and it's gonna force me to hit it out to the right, and you can see if Skytrak is right. So just having that angled out there, right? So I want to basically bring my club in basically down that line. If it goes to the right, then I know, okay, it read that right, that I'm going to the right, right? So just using the little pool noodle and setting some shots up like that, out to the right. There's no other way it can go, because the noodle is stopping me from coming in the inside. So this is another little test you could do. So I have that set out there to the right. I'm gonna hit another one, and just following the path of the noodle out to the right, right? Now, you can switch that noodle, and I'm gonna switch that noodle up and make me try to come inside. So I switched that noodle up a little bit, right? And now I'm gonna try to come down that line of the noodle and see if it starts out to the left. Simple tests like this will give you a good indication that it's at least reading things correctly with little simple shots. With just little simple shots. Like, okay, the noodle is forcing me to go down the line of the noodle. So I hit some fog to the left. Now, that was a good one. That was a good one, right? As I'm trying to do this video. There was definitely something wrong with that because of the way I had this noodle and I came across it. There's no way that ball went straight. No way, right? No way. Not even possible. So it's a chance that, okay, yeah, there's going to be some bad shots, but there's no way on the angle that I'm swinging, that's what it should have did the first time. But it just shows you that, yeah, there is the chance of a hit and miss, but this is a good way to just test it out and see. And sometimes, you know, without interfering with your laser. So now, using the noodle and stuff, so I kind of went through all my little pointers and tips. And then the last thing is really videotaping, right? You gotta videotape yourself and just look at your impact. So I got the 3 cameras I'm showing here. You can look at the one that's coming down. You can see how the club is coming through. And you kind of match that up with the results and just see. Like, I can definitely go back and watch this video and go back to that one that went straight and just look at that one again and see, okay, man, that was definitely a misread by Skytrak. All right. So now with this, and then if you're trying to, if it's saying if you don't think you're coming over the top, then really exaggerate trying to come inside and see what happens, right? I've always fought with coming over the top. So over the last 3-4 years, I've really been trying to come inside. So I kind of do that. So I really try to think about coming inside. Like just really working on that coming inside. I don't care about the flares to the right. I just want to know I'll take the flares to the right versus the pull to the left. Because that's where I'm just trying to go opposite. So do some swings like that where you just really exaggerate. Exaggerate to the right. You know? And then do the same thing going the opposite way. You know, really try to do some exaggeration with coming over the top if you having issues the other way. You know, get some slices up in there. I knew that I wasn't gonna slice because I work so much with coming over the top I can barely do it anymore. So you can see that those, even though it's sliced, it's coming up with a slice, but it's starting straight, which is kind of weird because it really should not be starting straight. So I might still have something to kind of adjust. Like literally, I'm aiming to the left of my screen, but Skytrak is giving it to start straight, where that's what I would expect. You know. Now, also, I go back to that. Even though I'm trying to do that, where's the club face? Even though I'm trying to slice it, but is the club face actually open, which pushes it straight? You know, so that might be a little bit of what's going on too, and not know. But using the tools that I kind of mentioned or getting them, it'll definitely help you to try to get things set up and aligned correctly. Again, get that face, get yourself a tool like this. It works magic. I built this just by looking at and copycatting some things. So I got a magnet with, you know, a little pole using some super glue and a little golf ball. I can put this on the face of any club, just like that, on the face of the club, right? And now when I put that club down, I can see where that face is pointing. I can see if that face is open, I can see if that face is closed, and straight. So when I'm setting up to the ball, now I start to get a reference of what a straight club face looks like versus an open face, even though I think it's going straight. And then you start to get these set up correctly. And then, again, hit some balls. Hit some balls with that in mind. And then getting the other things I talked about will help you get your Skytrak set up level and straight. Just like that. There you go, dog. Hey, Strok'en with pipes. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope the video helped you out, helped you, give you at least some pointers and some tricks to kind of get your own environment set up. Enjoy. I'll see you on the sim tour real soon. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Strok'en with pipes.